scene. This man is on a Grammy board. This man is my brother in rhyme. This man is one of the dopest performers I know, one of the most drippy cats I know, the Lenny Kravitz of poetry. You feel me? Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together, start making noise right now, right now, right now, for my brother, Just.
Shit.
Wait, baby.
So I'm watching Love Island, right? Or at least clips of it after she carries on about her favorite fantasy couple, and I couldn't help but come to the conclusion that reality TV is a setup. It sells us this dream, stranding an entire generation into thinking that love is lust, just from kissing and making up on the screen after 5 days in a hot tub, a real life reality check. A good morning text don't mean we owed each other forever. I mean, we hadn't even finished being strangers yet. But whenever I grew distant, she took it personally. And each second I spent alone, she smelled infidelity until her assumptions drifted me further away. It's like I was the island. And people kept washing ashore needing rescue, then leaving with a sea full of my resources. They showed up, overpacked with expectations and travel-sized intentions, forgetting that building a home takes more than some good wood or a warm fireplace. But I thought I could weather the storm or keep our head above water without building Atlantis underneath it. But maybe I'm guilty of how our first time unwrapped like a pinky promise, guilt of how our tongues tied, tasted like we recited each other's vows. I realized time stretches on the island. Days feel like months, but damn, it's only been 2 weeks and we arguing like we share a mortgage. I ain't even farted around you yet. Shit. Maybe I spent so long being an island that I forgot what it's like to be found without being claimed. Forgot what it's like to do the work before becoming someone's vacation. You see, everyone wants a relationship, but no one wants the upkeep. Maybe I spent so long being alone, I forgot that I don't have to turn every guest into a resident. Forgot that some people climb aboard just for the honeymoon, y'all. I wanted real, but real don't go viral. And nobody wants to wait anymore. Just me. Hoping I let someone stay long enough to know where the light switches are. You see, reality TV sells us this dream that love is scripted, edited for entertainment, skipping steps, fast forwarding to always and forever, y'all. I would blame TV, but Love Island was never the problem. It was just proof that we'd rather watch love than live in it.
Yo!
Limbo Lounge, what the fuck going on, y'all? How y'all doing? Type shit. Hey man, I go by the name of Just John. I'm a poet, songwriter, actor, activist, community organizer. I do so much different shit. Mentor, so tap in, y'all, for real. Big shout out to my boy Salam. Y'all give it up for Salam, the host tonight. Hey, shit don't move without people like Salam in the building, man. So I gotta give a big shout out to him. Big shout out to DJ SOS one time. Hey, SOS bring the vibes, bro. I ain't gonna lie, he bring the vibes. So we gonna get right into this next one. I'm gonna do a couple of new poems for y'all. Y'all say new shit?
New shit.
Come on, say it with your chest. New shit?
New shit.
Alright, cool. So I'm working on this big national poetry competition that's happening in December. Shout out to Exit 36, my home team. Anybody from Pompano in the building? None of y'all? God damn. Where the fuck y'all from? Broward? And Broward in the building? Yeah. Okay. Is Dade in the building? That's what the fuck I'm talking about. Okay, for sure. Everybody else, you know, just assimilate, you know, Chicago, New York, Texas, all that. You feel me? We here right now, right? Texas, all right, see. So, I write poetry, right? And like, during this journey, I feel like a lot of people used to label me as like different kind of poet, you feel me? So it made me sharpen my pen. I was like, I can't just be known as a love poet, you feel what I'm saying? And so the more that people used to typecast me is the more I started like straying away from that type of content. Like I started trying to do different things. And I realized like my inspiration comes from writing about my relationships and writing about women. So big shout out to my inspiration. Y'all give it up for the women in the building. Come on, come on. Yes, yes, yes. For sure. So a lot of my inspiration comes from that. So I decided to say like, oh shit, a legend just walked in the motherfucking building. Y'all give it up. What's up, Jay Howard, man? Folks too sleep. You too sleep. Type shit. Nah, but G, so I wrote this poem, and it kind of like addressed that. So y'all ready for that?
Yeah.
Cool. This is not about seduction, it's about restraint. How easily you become someone's sweet escape when they're suffering from a wound they haven't fully healed from. You see, some warnings aren't loud. It's just a quick, before everything goes up in smoke. So if you ever find yourself inside a barrel of a gun, I hope you recognize the signs and you disarm it in time, because you'll know it's real the moment it clicks. The first time it clicked for me, the room smelled like smoke and late night regret. Undressing her mind felt like taking the safety off a loaded gun. We weren't sure how close we were to a decision that could backfire. Can I sit? She didn't wait for an answer. She came in like she was running from something. Sat like she needed saving. Set her pocketbook down like surrender. And I stood there still. Because eye contact felt too real, and anything more might have felt like permission. And sometimes what people need from you has nothing to do with who you are, but everything to do with what they're missing. So the second clip, her voice was low, cracked, the type that makes you lean in without meaning to. She says, he never listens, he just waits to speak. So I said nothing. And at that moment, I learned that some people don't want fixing. They just want to be seen while they're falling apart. Each button she unfastened was a piece of pain, so by the third click, I unloaded carefully. One question at a time, her armor fell, and I caught each piece like shell casings on the hardwood, still hot, still shooting herself in the foot, while I'm catching strays meant for men who came before me. Her stories disassembled herself, and I held all the ammo I wasn't sure she'd ever get back. I said, you deserve someone who listens, even when it's a lot to unload. And she looked at me like I just removed the bullet. She wasn't sure that I was still there, and still, intimacy doesn't wait for permission. Not when you're that exposed, that cocked back, that ready. So by the fourth click, she stood, slipped the strap off her shoulder, paused and looked at me like I was the weapon. Cocks back the question, does this feel wrong? And I didn't answer. I just watched the dress fall, the last shell of herself. The grabber lit her cherry lips like forgiveness. The red dot flared the air, and suddenly I was her target. She climbed on top of me like she already made peace with her sin. Pulled back the sheets to her chin like maybe this will keep us safe, because playing with a loaded gun, y'all, feels like control. Feels like you're the one holding all that power until the moment slips, backfires, and someone you love doesn't make it home whole again. Remember, this is not about seduction. It's about restraint, like a game of Russian roulette. I know the story all too well. It's one last shot. It's drawing the line between pleasure and pain. It's drawing the line between pleasure and pain. It's 30 seconds left before everything goes up in smoke. And I swore, I thought I heard them. Thank you. For sure. Y'all say new shit? New shit. Oh, I like this song. Hey, I'll do y'all happy dance one time. That's your happy dance? Let me see you. Oh man, to the left, to the lean, to the right. Okay, I see you. Okay. Type shit. Type shit. Alright, cool. I'm gonna do one more piece for y'all. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Alright, for sure. So like I said, I'm working on this national poetry competition, so I got a bunch of new poems I'm trying to workshop. But this is what the open mic's about, y'all. We get up on here, we tell our stories, we share our truth, you feel me? We got poets in here that are writing. Some of y'all wrote new poems that you want to share with the world. And so this is what we come here to do. So I definitely appreciate Limbo Lounge for having a space for us to be here to network, engage with each other. Shit, some of y'all missed Love Island reunion tonight to be here, so appreciate y'all. For those of you that watched that shit, I don't.
You did?
You know. But yeah, we gonna get right into this last poem. This last poem is real important to me because I've been noticing a lot of people around me going through a lot of shit. Just being candid with y'all, and this feature kind of transpired because of a midst of that. And this poem I wrote, I was during when I went through a tough time. Being a creative is tough, like full-time creative at that. Like, it's really tough out here to be a full-time entrepreneur or just be involved in what you do, not having to stray away from the typical 9 to 5. So I wrote this poem kind of when I was like underwater, if you will. So ironically, this poem is called SOS, so shout out to my dog. It's called Sink or Swim, so let's get into it. More than half of Americans don't know how to swim. But what happens when you step out on a limb and decide to dip your toe in to test just how well swimming suits you? On this stage, the microphone becomes a flotation device. And I've seen dreams sink, but never come back to the surface. I've witnessed sets shipwreck, capsize on your side, leaving survivors stranded. You know, the first time I almost choked, I swallowed my words, my lungs filled with fear as I spit out every ounce until I was left empty. I've been drowning in this generational curse since birth. Descending so long, I never knew if I would reach the bottom, which also means I couldn't tell you how close I was to the top, but I knew that if I kept kicking, eventually I would see the light. You know, becoming an artist is like learning how to swim. My dad used to push us in the pool and wade until we worked our way back up for air the same way the job market plunges us into unemployment. On the shallow side, some of us are still trying to stand up while others are diving in head first. And I couldn't tell you which is worse, but you can't be your best if you're always dependent on a life vest. And aren't we all looking for a safety net to fall back on? The depths of this expedition will run deep. There will be choppy waters, so ride the waves. You know, hope just might be your best stroke. Oftentimes, my freestyling allows me to lap through the competition. Like, even underwater, I've always had a clear vision. And whenever I get overwhelmed and my emotions open like the ocean, I hold my breath and I count to 10. You know, breaking a world record pales in comparison to breaking the chains to financial constraint, and loose lips can't hold water, but we have been sold a lie that you can't make money doing what you love. Well, the 6 figures of 6 feet deep defeat only happens when you choose to stay dry. So don't let the doubt cause your drought. Remind yourself who you are inside. Not every relationship is meant to withstand the tide, so stay clear of the sharks. The jaws of a child will tear you apart. Just know that if you ever hit rock bottom, hopefully these words will save a life. Anchor yourself in your affirmations. It's in the moments of struggle of keeping your head above water that you regain your resilience. You have to resuscitate your reasons why, y'all, because you are alive. I'll say it one more time. You are alive. Even if you are barely staying afloat. Yeah, I go by the name of Just John. If y'all in this bitch, make some motherfucking noise. I appreciate y'all. Big shout out to Salam, man. Shout out to DJ SOS. Shout out to Limbo Lounge. Shout out to all the poets.